Sanity is brittle. The majority of people cling to it in an effort to survive in a world that constantly drags them down. Sanity, though, it's overrated. Not clinging on too tightly is the actual trick. Don't give in entirely, but allow the pandemonium to engulf you, and allow the craziness to bite at your heels. Those who make an excessive effort to maintain their normalcy are the ones who lose their minds. They attempt to fit into molds created by those who were never really sane. The secret is to dance crazily without letting it control you. You will be pushed, perplexed, and asked to do things that don't make sense by the world. It will put you in circumstances that contradict all of your preconceived notions. If you know the rules of the game, you won't break under the strain as most others do. Attempts to justify the incomprehensible and make sense of a nonsensical reality lead to insanity. Recognizing that turmoil is normal is the first step in maintaining your sanity. Meaning is a luxury for the weak, so stop looking everywhere for it. Those who maintain their sanity are adept at creating mental barriers. But these walls also contain doors, hidden passageways, that allow the darkness to enter just enough to maintain interest. You will break under too much strain, too much control, and too much order. However, a little insanity keeps you alive and smart. The world will attempt to drive you over the brink, but the sane and the mad can be distinguished by the simple fact that one takes a step back while the other smiles and moves on. Quit resisting the chaos if you want to remain sane. The parts will never fit the way you want them to, so give up attempting to control everything. Wherever they fall, let them fall. Don't respond instead. Watch the universe play its twisted hand. Overreaction causes drowning. You learn to stay afloat and above everything. Because they worry too much about how things should be, people go nuts. In actuality, there are no guarantees. The laws of the universe do not work in your favor. You're free once you accept that. Your mind becomes indestructible when you stop requiring things to go your way. Expectations and clinging to results are the sources of madness. Letting go and understanding you're still alive after surviving a fire are the keys to sanity. Putting up barriers around your thoughts won't keep you sane. Stepping into the storm and allowing the rain and wind to rip at you without losing your footing is how you maintain your sanity. You will constantly be put to the test by the world. But if you keep in mind that a storm is only a storm, it cannot affect you. You are not defined by the turmoil. You are impenetrable, above it and beyond it. Believing that you have complete control over everything is the worst insanity. People get broken by that. They cling to everything, and they break when it eludes them. Control is a myth. Real sanity arises from realizing that life is always shifting and chaotic. Give up battling it. Being able to adjust and go with the flow without getting carried away is what defines sanity, not having control. So how do you maintain your sanity? Don't follow their rules. You no longer need life to make sense. Accept the mess. Your intellect will be stronger than the world once you stop trying to make it fit your desires. You survive the chaos and emerge victorious. How you bear the burden of your humanity is what truly earns respect. The goal is to keep fighting, not to win every battle. You are here to make a difference and contribute to something greater than yourself, not to be flawless. Respect yourself. If you neglect yourself, you join the turmoil you're trying to flee, and the world will punish you for it. Respect is something you give yourself, not something you have to gain from other people. It serves as the cornerstone of all your actions. Without it, your shortcomings as well as those of others would destroy you. To possess a weapon that no one can use against you is to be aware of your own darkness. The majority of individuals pretend their darkness doesn't exist in order to hide from it. However, the most vulnerable are those who deny it. They steer clear of it, and they shatter when confronted with the darkness of others. Something changes when you confront your own darkness and don't back down. You get an advantage. The games that other people play no longer affect you. Because you have dealt with your own anxieties and insecurities, you are able to identify theirs. You can no longer be manipulated. Everybody has darkness. How effectively you handle it is crucial. Deniers are harmful because they transfer their own darkness onto other people. However, no one can control you once you've accepted yours. You've seen it before. You've experienced it already. Instead of controlling you, your darkness turns into a tool that you can use. To become untouchable means to recognize your own darkness. The world wants to make you feel afraid, but it can't. You've already overcome that internal conflict and emerged victorious. The true power in life comes from being aware of your entire self, even the aspects you've been taught to be afraid of. That's how you overcome everything. The most intense conflicts eat away at your innermost being, removing all comforts, pretenses, and illusions until only the unadulterated truth is left. These conflicts are not for the weak of heart. However, those who make it through them come out stronger, different, and with an unshakable calm. Your hardships turn into armor. You discover aspects of yourself that are hidden from comfort. You will be put to the test by the world. It will attempt to shatter you. However, after surviving the worst, you realize that nothing else is comparable. The true strength lies in overcoming life's obstacles and persevering through the flames. Growth occurs as a result of struggle. There is no depth if there is no conflict. Stasis is bred by comfort. Conflict creates something tangible. No one can take away the tranquility that comes with surviving the worst. Conflict-averse people never experience this tranquility. They always avoid the pain because they live in dread. However, those who confront it head-on are aware of its importance. Only when the storm is past can there be true serenity. It's the serenity that comes after enduring the most trying times in life. Earning your position, your tranquility, and your authority is the main goal. You get conviction in yourself as a result of overcoming disputes, which is more significant than comfort. Nothing else can affect you when you've been put to the test, pushed to the limit, and come out on top. You maintain your sanity in this way. Accept the conflict. It's not against you. It's the route to reality. If it must, allow it to shred you, and then rise stronger and more unflinching from the ashes. They remain completely in charge and unaffected on the other side. Don't waste time attempting to decipher someone's thinking if you can't understand why they are acting in a certain way. Overanalyzing motives, feelings, and intentions is where most people go wrong. You can't really know what someone else is thinking. You will lose yourself if you play this game of falsehoods, half-truths, and illusions. Instead, consider the repercussions. Ignore the words, the justifications, and the enticing falsehoods intended to divert your attention. Observe the results of their activities. What results from their choices? The truth is hidden there. Whether they acknowledge it or not, people act with a goal. Even when they disguise their acts in admirable causes, the results show their true motivations. Words are not as powerful as actions. What damage do they inflict? What authority do they acquire? What tranquility do they disturb? Everything is revealed in the aftermath. Learn to judge individuals based on their actions rather than their words. A person is exposed if they profess to be a savior yet left havoc in their wake. Their genuine intentions are obvious if they promote togetherness while sowing discord. The only language that is always truthful is consequences. You become untouchable once you realize this. You are no longer drawn into their deceit and uncertainty. The stories they tell are not the truth, what follows them is. Ego, insecurities, phobias, and an insatiable desire for approval is what motivates people. The collective ego, however, poses a much greater threat. It feeds on collective delusions and groupthink. It affects social groupings, businesses, nations, and religions. The collective ego is more concerned with power, control, and survival than it is with right or wrong. It exploits the fear of rejection or being left alone to compel obedience and submission. It justifies its destructive behavior by inciting widespread craziness. Humanity's most heinous crimes, war, tyranny, and genocide are motivated by this collective insanity and are all committed in the guise of preserving the group's identity. People become instruments of a larger insanity, losing themselves in the process. While the individual ego poses a threat, the collective ego is the true monster that is destroying the globe. Suffering, pain, grief, and fear occurs throughout life. Many people seek pleasure, as though it will make the agony go away, but it never does. Finding something so significant that the suffering is rendered inconsequential is the source of true purpose. You outgrow the suffering, not avoid it. It was never intended for life to be painless. The intention is to produce something so strong that it eclipses the pain and makes it unimportant. By creating a goal that makes the effort worthwhile, you can overcome the insanity. You are not treated with respect. The first step is to demand it of yourself. Many people spend their lives as though they are unimportant mishaps. But you are important. You should respect yourself. Be worthy, take care of yourself, and overcome your shortcomings. Although everyone makes mistakes, this does not justify neglecting oneself. Instead, they stress the value of respecting oneself. You risk self-destruction if you give up on yourself because of your imperfections. Taking care of oneself is not selfish, rather, it is essential. Even while the world is damaged, ignoring yourself just makes things worse. No matter how many times you fall, it's your responsibility to keep getting back up. Have enough self-respect to accept your imperfections. Try again, and go on. The only way to get through the darkness without becoming engulfed by it is to do that.